The F84F-Thunderstreak, a plane I think you're all flying wrong. Reading from Airplanes Online, we are given the following summation of the history of the aircraft. The swept-wing Republic F84F-Thunderstreak evolved from the straight-wing F84 Thunderjet. The F model incorporated such aerodynamic improvements as swept-back wings due to the success of the North American Aviation F86 Sabre. It also featured improved tail and elevator surfaces, a smaller canopy, and a redesigned windscreen. With these improvements, the F-84F was introduced in 1949 as a competitor to the F-86. The prototype first flew on June 3, 1950, and deliveries began in 1954, primarily to the Tactical Air Command as a ground support fighter bomber. Armed with 6 50-caliber M3 machine guns, 24 5-inch rockets, and 6,000 pounds of bombs, the Thunderstreak was designed as a fighter bomber capable of attacking ground targets and intercepting high-altitude Soviet bombers. Early models of the F-84F were plagued by control and stability problems. The first production models were equipped with conventional stabilizer elevator tailplanes, which caused an accelerated stall pitch-up problem and degraded the maneuverability at combat speeds. By the end of May 1954, the introduction of hydraulically powered one-piece stabilizer and side-mounted spoilers improved the performance and corrected the high-speed control problems. The F-84F series was a key development in the FICON fighter conveyor program conducted by the U.S. Air Force in the 1950s and involved testing the feasibility of a Convair B-36 Peacemaker bomber to carry the RF-84K Thunderflash Parasite fighter in its bomb bay. That's an interesting concept. The plan was for the heavy bomber with superior range to arrive in the vicinity of the target and deploy the faster, more maneuverable F-84F to deliver the tactical nuclear bomb. The F-84F would then return to the mothership to be carried home. Later, the concept was changed to have the Parasite aircraft perform reconnaissance missions while the B-36 awaited its return. Now, to get into the pre-flight briefing. Let's run down the in-game stat card. The F-84F Thunderstreak is classified as a Rank 5 battle rating 8.3 German strike aircraft with a number of versions in different tech trees. The one we will be examining here today is the German tech tree version. It has 6 50-caliber machine guns with 1,800 rounds of ammunition, 2 2,000-pound bombs, 2 1,000-pound bombs, with total of 17 armament presets. It has a crew of 1, a max speed of 1,102 kilometers an hour, a max altitude of 12.5 kilometers, a turn time of 18 seconds, a rate of climb of 38 meters a second, and a takeoff run of 3 kilometers. A maximum repair cost of 10,335 Silver Lions. Now, before we go any further, you need to set up 3 keybinds for CCRP, or Constantly Calculated Release Point, which is something that very few aircraft have. These keys are Switch Mission Target, Activate Target Point, Deactivate Target Point, and while you're in here, you also want to set up the key for the ballistic computer, which is under Toggle Ballistic Computer. If you want to know more about how this works, I will link a Tim's Varieties video in the description with his excellent in-depth video. For our purposes right now, here's what you need to know. Number 1, Switch Mission Target will turn on the CCRP to one of the mini bases. Activate a target will cause the CCRP to target whatever point on the ground your nose is pointing at. And 3, Deactivate Target Point shuts off the CCRP. This is important because the CCRP will not allow you to drop bombs until you reach the release point. So if you suddenly have to start dogfighting, you can hit this key and then drop your bombs. And number 4 is Toggle Ballistic Computer, which turns on the ballistic computer with your guns, which gives you a little reticle showing where your rounds will land on the ground. Now, to get into flying this thing. This is not a fighter. If you try to fly it like a fighter, you will climb too slow, turn too slow, accelerate too slow, and you will die. Instead, think of this as a strategic bomber, more like the earlier Schnell bombers in the German tech tree. When pushed into that role, your performance changes from being slow and awkward to actually quite good compared to other bombers. You also have a CCRP and a 6,000-pound bomb load that is well suited to hitting bases. You also have an armament of 650 cals, which have good ballistics and a good ammunition pool, but they lack damage. For ground pound, you do get a ballistics computer, but the 50 cals will have hard time killing anything except light targets. To reiterate, think of this plane like a bomber, not a fighter. The first thing to notice when you get in the air is that this plane does get an air spawn, which helps a lot. So what I do is take advantage of this air spawn to climb to about 3,000 meters at a speed of about 550 to 600 kilometers per hour. Once at that altitude, I use switch mission target to pick which base I am going to hit. The base that I hit is the one that I think is going to be the farthest from the furball, while still being easy to hit. When the CCRP is active, you will see a green line with a small circle in the middle of the screen with a little green block above it. As you approach the base, the little green block will get closer to the circle. What you want to do is put your crosshairs in the middle of the little green circle, and when the block gets close, you hold your bomb release button. When the block hits the circle, your bombs will drop. After you see the first bomb drop, you want to very quickly mash the release button a few times to make sure all of your bombs drop. As for this plane, you have just enough bombs to destroy one base. Now remember, you have 6,000 pounds of ordnance slung under your wings. The CCRP will block you from releasing these bombs while it is turned on. Therefore, if you have to drop the bombs for any reason, you must hit your deactivate target point keybind before the bombs will drop. This is important to remember if you do get intercepted. Now, once you drop your bombs, you have the choice of going back for more bombs or hitting some ground targets. You have a gun CIP and a good air brake to facilitate a ground target options. This is a transonic or greater than 0.9 Mach jet. And you can deploy your flaps and landing gear at speeds of less than 417 kilometers an hour, making this a pretty easy plane to land with the air brake. Taking off with a full load, however, really does take the whole runway. So, without further ado, let's get into some gameplay, and I will show you how this all works in a more hands-on way. Alright, so now time to get into the hands-on phase. As you can see, we're in Iberia, which is, well, it's a massive map, so make of that what you will. But we do have the venerable, the vaunted, the F84F-Thunderstreak. What a great name plane. Sometimes these names they miss, but Thunderstreak, that's one that hits. So, first thing I gotta figure out to do here is which base am I going after? I'm gonna go after the one to the right here, way off in the distance, because that is going to be farthest from the furball. Now, when you're this far out, basically the CCRP is not gonna really pick up anything usually, but sometimes if you hit the button, you cycle through targets, and you can kind of get on the target that way. So, now we're going to fly for about 3 hours or so. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be serving in-flight drinks. But the nice part about this map is that this should give me a nice, uninterrupted chance to show you guys all the cool little details about this plane. See what we got for a match here. Looks like we're in a very slight up tier because we have that G91, so we're up tiered to 8.7. That's a very normal thing in this plane to get up here to 8.7. Happens pretty much all the time. Alright. Now, normally I would side climb a little bit. I would take this plane off, slide climb to about 3,000 kilometers. But with this map and where it's so huge, that isn't really necessary. Because this base is spawned so far off from where the furball is going to be that I just don't foresee there being a problem of us getting intercepted. Because if you see our line here, up at the top, and if you draw the straight line down to theirs, basically the furball is going to happen somewheres around 4E4 or E5, and we're going to be all the way over in a D2. So, but there's a nice couple of ground targets there in a D4. I might get a chance to show you guys how the CCRP works in this thing too. I feel like this map is Spain, but that it almost puts you starting off in France. Oh, maybe somebody can tell me how far Laedas, forgive my pronunciation, is from the French border, because I'd actually be pretty curious about that. This map is one that I tend to have a mixed feelings on. When you're in a supersonic jets at the higher tiers, then I actually quite like this map. But when you're in a even the lower tier jets like this thing, sometimes this map can be a little slow. This map especially sucks when you're flying props. But I actually think that for higher tier games, we need more maps like this for the higher tier games, because I can't imagine what's... I haven't used much in the way of beyond visual range weapons yet, but I can just imagine how great that is on some of the smaller maps. Whereas with this map, you've got enough space to kind of get around that sort of thing. So we got a C-Vixen coming in for us, so I'm going to dive. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the CCRP. I'm going to drop the bombs. Because we are going to have to fight the C-Vixen. So, pull hard, pull hard, pull hard. G. Okay, rip my flaps, but dodge the missile. This thing, you're going to get to see exactly how this thing is in a dogfight. Not very good is the answer. Okay, am I coming across his nose? No, I'm not. Oh, mother. Okay. Good thing I stopped myself there. Okay. Too bad I have no flaps left. And I don't... See, this is the problem with this thing in a fight. Like, look. See, he's turning inside of me, but I don't have the acceleration either. But unfortunately, since I'm pretty much alone out here with this guy, I don't have a whole lot of choice except for to take this. So, we're taking the fight. See if I can pitch up at him. Yeah, he's just turning. See, he turns all over you. Because I can't, Where'd he go? There he is. Okay, I'm gonna dive because I need some speed. I need speed to maneuver, and he's right up my... Oh boy, he's right on my butt. Okay, gonna come around. Okay, maybe we can get him here. Oh! Couldn't get him in the turn. Come on, you piece of junk. Level out, you. Okay. He might have me energy trapped here. This guy is good. Okay, I'm going to drop some more altitude so I can get some more speed. Ooh, we got a MiG-17 coming in. Okay, so the MiG-17 came in and looks like has chased him off. So, right deal. Okay, MiG-17 got him. Alright, so... Now, unfortunately I was forced to drop my bombs in order to maneuver. Okay, who else is on me here? I don't have enough speed to dodge. Okay, we got a sub, and I'm going the wrong way, so that's I don't have enough speed to dodge that missile, do I? Okay, I dodged that missile. I didn't think I had enough space to do that, so... Or enough speed to do that. Okay. Man! Everything outmaneuvers you in this plane. That's half the problem of this plane. Is that everything outmaneuvers you. Why is the nose going? Okay. Okay, so I stalled out there. So I meant to show you guys how to take this thing into to do a bombing run. And instead I ended up showing you guys why not the dogfight with this thing. Because it is just not maneuverable. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you guys straight into another match here and show you how to actually bomb with this thing. There, we're now into the second match with this thing. We've got Takeoff, and hopefully this match I can show you a little bit about the ground pound and a little bit about the bombs and how the CCRP works. Because last match we got intercepted, and oh, that was a fun match. That really does more go to show you guys about why this thing is not a good dogfighter, as opposed to how to use it as more of a strategic bomber. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this time. We're going to take it off. We're going to side climb to about 3,000 meters. 2,500, 3,000. I kind of play it by ear depending on the match and how the match is going, obviously. Because in War Thunder, you can't really take everything as hard and fast rolls.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
But in this case, with this plane, you do want to try to be well above the furball. Because, as you've seen in the last match, you get out dogfight by a lot of things. A lot of things will out-turn you, and they'll outmaneuver you. And it's not a good dogfighter. Although, I do want to say is that, even though I can't aim very well, I really can't. The 50 cals, they don't have a ton of punch, but what they do have is good ballistics. So if you can get them on target and you can keep a sustained burst on target, you can kill things with them. Just that it takes sustained bursts. That also does limit their utility to ground pound, which hopefully I'll get an opportunity to show you guys this match. Okay, so we're getting pretty close to altitude here now. I'm going to go for the base that is closest to me, because I want to try to get on it before any of our guys get on it, so that way I can kind of show you guys what to reasonably expect if you do get at least one full base. And hopefully this time we don't get intercepted. It doesn't look like there's anything between me and the base this time. Somebody got it. I didn't see where he came from, so we're gonna switch to the next one. The lucky thing is that by using the switch target keybind, you can pretty easily just cycle through the mini bases. Now, hopefully this time I actually get to drop my bomb load.
Launching an attack. The enemy is getting closer to victory.
Okay, we're going to drop speed a little bit here. Now, as you can see, that block at the top is starting to move into the circle. And the whole time I've been keeping my crosshairs within the circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down my bomb release button. You'll know when the bomb release button is held down by those little lines that appear. In my case, the bomb release button is the spacebar. So when that little square hits the circle now, what's going to happen is that my bombs are going to automatically release, and I'm going to spam the spacebar a couple of more times. Spacebar is my bomb release button, as I said, to make sure all my bombs drop. Because you got just enough to hit one base, and one base alone. So you want to drop her all on one. Okay, here we go. There we go. Now we got some nice juicy ground targets under there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something else pretty cool about this plane. Yeah, we got an F86, so we're going to try to avoid him. Is that this plane... okay, so he's dead. So this plane has a very sturdy airframe. That's one of the advantages of it. And it comes with a ballistics computer, which I've just turned on, and an air brake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the air brake. I'm going to try to come down. I'm going to try to come down on this howitzer. Now, you see that funny little different looking crosshair? That's showing you exactly where your rounds are going to land on the ground. So, well, your 50 cals are not particularly damaging. You got lots of them and you can fire them pretty accurately. So, makes this plane actually like not the worst in the world for ground pound on the light targets. Now, you do have to limit yourself to light targets, because if you try to go for heavier targets, what'll happen is that you just won't do any damage. We got a little low there on that pass, so okay, let's see if we can do if he'll take a head on here. Ooh, he took the head on. We got a little damage. This plane in head-ons is mediocre in head-ons. It's not the best, not the worst. 50 cals, you got so many of them that your burst mass is okay. your burst mass is okay, but they really don't have the penetration. But on the other hand, you do have a reasonably sturdy airframe. So now I'm going to show you guys how this thing lands. See how we're doing here. We're actually not doing half bad this match. We got almost 1.5 tons of bombs dropped, 3 ground targets destroyed, and we got a hit off on on another player. I think he's still kicking. Yeah, he's still alive over there. Probably won't get the assist. Now, one of the things about this plane is that it is fantastically easy to... It's very easy to land. I won't say fantastically easy like I was going to say, because I did mess it up earlier. But it's a very easy plane to land because your flaps and gear are good up to 417 kph. But most importantly, you get an air brake. And also, because you got a decent airframe, a decently sturdy airframe, so if you have to belly land it, it's actually not too bad. So, you're gonna drop the air brake, lose some speed here. Go ahead and turn off the ballistics computer, avoid that distraction. Now, when we're getting down to about 417, that's the number we're looking for.
Returning to the airfield.
Okay. Once you get over the runway, what you want to do is you want to shut your engine off. Alright, we're at the right speed now, so we're going to drop the gear in our landing flaps. And as you can see, it's coming in pretty smooth. No weird, like, pitching problems. And it comes with a drag chute, too, which makes life easy. Now, I am going to include the whole match here again, just so that you guys can see, like, roughly how a whole match with this thing will play out when you don't get intercepted and things go well. I am going to leave that other match in there, though, just because, well, hey, that was pretty fun. Who love a good dogfight, even when I don't do well. Now, one of the things I'm going to tell you guys straight up with this plane is that it takes the whole runway. It takes a long time. It takes a long takeoff run because it has very low acceleration. And when you have low acceleration combined with a high payload that's causing parasitic drag like this, that means long takeoffs. Hello, friend. I always find that kind of so cool. Alright, so yeah, you get liftoff at about 300 kilometers an hour. Although I didn't do it here, I do recommend using the flaps for a little bit of extra lift. I really should have, but it's not 100% necessary. I'm going to go for the farthest base again, and hopefully this time we can get the bombs dropped before the end of the match here. Because I have a feeling that this match is going to end as soon as that guy dies. And he's got, what's he got over there with him? We got a MiG-15 and it's a MiG-15 that's over there with him. The G91's quite far off. Oh! We might get the second bomb load. I hope we do. Trying to grind out that new MiG-23, or that MiG-23BN. So, more bomb loads I can get, the better. Okay, we got another F84F coming up here. I might drop my bombs and see if I can take him on. Looks like the G91's going for him. Okay. And he's going for one of our bases. So I'm going to try to drop my bombs and then go for him. Even though he's way... Because he looks like he's got his hands full with that G91. That G91 should be able to kill him without much trouble. Because, as many of you guys know, the G91 is a very maneuverable plane that packs quite a punch. Should have at least one 30mm cannon, depending on how he's fit up. Usually they go with 2. That is another plane that I did fly quite a bit, although I could never get used to the Nords. Okay, is the other guy still in the match? Okay, we're getting close to target now. Gotta be careful to keep your Corsairs right in the center, or else your bombs won't hit. That's why usually once I get it centered, I hold down my look key, because you also want the situational awareness as well. Okay. Is he taking off, or is he sitting on their airbase? He's sitting on their airbase. Oh, spam the buttons again. And there, now we're free. Major weight loss program, guys. Major weight loss program here. Alright, so... Okay, he's chilling back on their base. Where is the other guy? Okay, so this match is going to be over in about 3 seconds. As soon as the... Yep. So, now you guys have gotten to see what a bad round looks like. You'll also get to see what a good round looks like in this plane. As you know, as you can see, when you do well in this plane, it's actually not a bad grinder. So, this is Catholic Nationalist Gaming, and have yourselves a good night.